go. Shaking it out. Now we can step from side to side today and get into those shoulders. Loosen them up. Get those arms flapping around. Come on. We're just shaking them out. Up to the shoulders with the, up to the ears with the shoulders. Good. Take those arms out to the side. If you're having difficulty, Judith, it's on your side. Everybody can see me on this side. Okay, let's go into a twisting motion. Good. Feeling into that lower back area. Hand to shoulder. Remembering to go as fast or as slow as you want. And if you're not dizzy, you can let your head follow through. Let's take the arm up to where it suits your shoulders, your neck, your arms. And then float those arms down. Round the body. And let's anchor with one leg, stepping forward, stepping back. Breathing in as you lift, breathing out as you exhale. So we're stepping forward and back. Last time, forwards and back, coming to center, pause. We're going to step the other leg forwards and back. Just letting go all the stresses of the week on the out breath. And the last time, forwards and back, coming back to center. Okay, let's take a hand to opposite knee. Get some cross brain movements going so we can get that brain more balanced. All right, let's take the elbow to the knee now. See if you can get that elbow to knee. Good. Try to keep the body upright and not crunching down. You don't want the body to crunch. You want the body nice and tall with the knee lifting up high. Or wherever you can. All right, let's take a leg forwards and stretch towards those toes. Good. And then take it to the instep. And to the instep. Beautiful. And if you can take the other arm up to the ceiling. And then take the feet behind you. So same movement, just backwards. Good. Okay, are you ready? We're going one forwards, one backwards. One forwards, one backwards. One forwards, one backwards. Good. And we're going to change over. So we're going the other one forwards and the other one backwards. Good. All right, take them both forwards now. Let's keep the hands low now. And then take elbow to knee. So back to elbow to knee. Hand to knee. and coming to a stop. Let's put those hands on those hips, take a wider stance with the feet, and just circle the hips in one direction. Keep the core engaged as you do this. Getting wider and wider with each movement till your whole body is moving. Your chest is moving forwards and backwards. Keep the core engaged. And then reverse that movement, go the other way. Of course, you're being careful with your hips, your knees, your legs. And circling gradually smaller, the body's starting to come more upright. Until you come to a small little circle. Good. Coming to center. Let's bring the back of the hands together, round the shoulders, bring them forwards. Tuck the chin in. And then inhale, take the arms out to the side, lift the sternum, look at a diagonal. Exhale, round the shoulders, bring the back of the hands together, tuck the chin in. Inhale, lift and open. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale and fold. Last time, lift and open. Bring those hands up to the ceiling and down to the heart. Excellent. Releasing, letting go. Good. Have a drink of water and then we're going to flow into our heaven and earth sequence. So I want to suggest that if going to the floor in this position is difficult for you, please can you get a chair or a pile of books so that you can bring the floor up towards you, so that when you are in your wide stance position, you can just put your hands on the chair and work from there. Okay, so you don't need it right this second, but you are going to need it in the sequence. Yeah, okay, so I just put this to the side. Okie dokes. So I'd like you to come into standing. Look down at your feet. Make a fist with a hand. Close one eye and put your feet to either side of that hand. That fist at least. And then release those hands. You're going to lift the toes off the floor, spread them out. I have to spread my fingers when I spread my toes. It's really weird. And then put the toes back down. Push down into the feet. Soften the back of the knees so they're off lock. Draw in the perineum, draw in the abdominals. Take a deep breath in, lift the shoulders to the ears. And then take them back and down, create space under the arms, nice long back of the neck. You're coming into your mountain pose. I'd like you to let your eyes close on an exhale. And if you're comfortable, if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, just take your gaze downwards. And then focus on feeling into your body, noticing how it's standing, whether it feels strong and stable, how the physical body feels today, to where the tensions are, where's the sense of ease. And then become aware of the way you feel, what's happening for you emotionally today. Where would you like it to be? What would you like to feel? Think of that. Have a goal. And then what about your mind? How busy is your mind? Or is it slowing down? Are there any repetitive thoughts that you'd like to just get rid of for a change? So on an in-breath, I'd like you to open the eyes, take the arms up, bring the hands together, bring them down to the heart. Pause there. And just focus for a moment on your breathing. Feeling yourself stable, anchored through the feet, steady. Keep the core engaged. You release the hands now. Cross one arm in front of the other. Bend the elbows and lift the arms overhead, opening to the side. And as they come down, soften your knees. So bend your knees. Cross the other arm in front. Lifting up with the elbows, like you were taking a jumper off. And exhaling, soften the knees. So breathe in as you lift. And breathe out as your arms come down. Breathing in as you lift, let the head look up slightly. And as you breathe out and soften the knees, let the head look down. Breathing in, look up. Breathing out, look down. Just feel that chest and that beautiful flowing through the heart center. Breathing in, lifting up, looking up. Breathing out, bring the arms down. Pausing at the end. You're going to bring the hands together and draw them to the heart. In this position, you're going to draw in the core and you're going to breathe in, stretching the arms up, drawing in the core, bending the knees. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart, straighten the knees. Okay. I'd like you all to turn to the side so that your side is facing me, please. Yeah, good. Okay. Your side body, any side will do. Good. Draw in the core. You're going to bend the knees, push the hip backwards and lift those arms. Yes. And exhale, come back to center. Focus on your hips. Pull in the core, squeeze in that perineum. Next, inhale, stretch the arms up, push the hips backwards as you bend the knees. Same movement. And exhale, come back to the center. Good, you can turn back to face me if you need to. Breathing in, you're going to push the arms away. And breathe in the hands back to the heart. So let's get the breathing right. Exhale as you push away, bend the knees. Breathe in, straighten the knees, hands to heart. Breathing out, push away. And breathing in, draw the hands to the heart. Push away as you bend the knees. Breathing in, straighten the knees. Now drop the chin to the chest as you bend the knees and stretch the arms. And breathing in, lift the head, lift the sternum, straighten up. And breathe out, drop the chin to chest, bend the knees, straighten arms. Breathing in, hands to heart, lift the sternum, open. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And the last time, pushing away. Inhale, hands to the heart, straightening up. Good. We're going to take a slightly wider stance now. And you're going to put one hand on the opposite shoulder and take the other arm behind you. All right. So the elbow that's in front, that arm, yeah, you want to turn in the opposite direction. Okay, so so if you've got your right arm in front of you, you want to turn to the left. So I'm turning to my left. Okay, look down at your feet, make sure the feet are pointing both in the same direction. Yeah, okay. So you're going to come onto that front leg and onto the toes of the back leg. Draw in your abdominals. Breathe in, and on the exhale, twist further round to that front leg. So you're actually twisting deeper into that twist. And you pause there. Take another breath in, and on the exhale, see if you can go a little deeper into that stretch. In breath, come back to the center, bring your arms forwards, your feet and your toes pointing forwards. Okay, so the arm that was in front goes behind your back now, and the other arm is in front. You're going to rotate to the other side, so the opposite side to front arm. You're coming to stand on that front leg and the back toes. Draw in the core. Breathe in, soften the shoulders, and exhale, twisting deeper into that stretch towards the front leg. Breathe in again and twist deeper into that stretch. And then as you breathe in, come back to the center, unraveling the body, allowing the arms to drop. Focus on the arms slightly away from the body now. Rotate the shoulders forwards, palms backwards, and then rotate the shoulders back, palms up. So it's forwards with the shoulders, exhale, breathe in, lift the sternum, look up. And exhale, bend the knees slightly, tuck the chin in, breathe in, lift. And exhale, fold. Breathe in, lift. So you're working into the shoulders, so just keep flowing in your own time. And the last time, folding forwards, exhaling, breathing in, coming back to center. You're going to raise those arms above the head and exhale. Bringing those hands down. Right, we're going to take a slightly wider stance with the feet. Bend the knees so that you're in this position and bring the hands onto the thighs. Okay? Sumo wrestling, kind of. All right, you want to focus on your shoulder. No, actually I want you to do cat-cow. So you want to be focused on tucking the tailbone under, rounding the spine, tuck the chin into the throat, and then lengthen the tailbone, hollow through the back, keep the core engaged as you look up. And exhale, round the spine, cat. Inhale into cow, core stays engaged. And continue, exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow. Exhale. Inhale into cow. And the last time, cat. And then coming into neutral. Just flow down the legs with the hands into forward bend. Feel the stretch through the back of the legs. Bend the knees and come back up again. Reaching all the way to the top. And bringing those hands together back to the heart. So we're going back into our bent knee stance with the hands on the thighs. And this time we're lowering our body so the back is, the shoulders and the hips are in line, okay? You're going to drop one shoulder towards the floor and look up over the other one, or in that direction. And then you bring the head back to center, shoulder to center. You exhale the other shoulder down and look up over the other side. Breathing in, you come back to center. You exhale, drop one shoulder, look up. Breathe in, come back to center. Breathe out, drop a shoulder, look up. And breathe in, come back to center. Do that a few times, keep going. So you're dropping one shoulder towards the floor, yeah? There should be a downward push, yeah? Make sure you're even on both sides. and then come back to your center. Release the arms down towards the floor, relax the head, bend the knees, uncurl, coming all the way back up again. Reaching up, releasing those arms down and folding them, taking hold of the elbows. Okay, so this time you are folding forwards into a forward bend, holding your elbows. And when you get there, you're going to push one elbow down towards the floor and then release it. Exhale the other elbow down towards the floor. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Elbow to floor. Inhale. Do that a couple more times. Keep going. Good. Looking good. The elbow drops down to the floor. That's it. And then once you've done both sides evenly, you release the arms to the floor, bend the knees and uncurl, coming all the way back up again, reaching up to the ceiling and bringing those hands to the heart. Stepping those feet back together. Push your thumbs into your sternum. And just notice if you can feel your heart rate or your breathing, any changes there. Nod your head if you can. Yeah? Okay. You may or may not. It's not a prerequisite. If you're feeling unbalanced, please come into seated if you need a break. Okay? Right, releasing those arms. You're going to grab hold of your chair if you need it. So you want to have your chair somewhere in front of you because we're going into a wide stance. So if the floor is too far away for you, then use a chair. If the floor is comfortable for you, then you can just use that, right? So remember, we're going into a wide stance and then the hands come one on top of the other onto the chair. And if you are on the floor, you're in a wide stance. And let's all have our right hands on top of the left hand. Engage the core, relax the head, give it a little shake. And then on the in-breath, you're going to open up to the right. So twist from the lower spine out to the right. Bring the arm up and stretch it to the ceiling. You're taking your gaze in that direction. And as you exhale, bring that hand down to the floor again. Swap hands. Left hand should be on top. Engage the core, start at the base of the spine, breathing in, opening to the left side, stretching upwards, gaze in that direction, exhaling, hand back to the floor and placing the right hand on top. Going to the right, opening that right side, right arm rising up to the ceiling and exhaling, right arm back down again. Left hand on top, inhaling, opening up to the left side, stretching upwards and exhaling that hand back down. And do that twice more to each side. Keep going. Beautiful, looking good. Taking that rotation all the way down into the base of the spine. Breathing in, palm faces the same direction you're looking. Good. Once you've completed both sides evenly, bend your knees and walk those feet closer together to hip width apart and uncurl. Coming all the way up, reaching all the way to the top. Sweep the hands down into your lower back. Core engages. Lifting the sternum. Take a slight back bend if that suits you. And then hinge from those hips. Fold forwards into forward bend. Relax the head. And then bend the knees, uncurl back into standing. Steady and slowly, lifting sternum, elbows pull back, core is engaged, back bend if that suits you. Exhaling, forward bend. Slide the hands down the back of the legs now towards the floor. Bend your knees and bring your body upright in that bent knee position. So it's like you're trying to sit down, but you've got no chair. And exhale, fold forwards and down, straighten through those legs. Feel the stretch through the back of the legs. And then bend the knees, engage your core, lift your body into seated. And exhale, forward bend. Relax the head, relax the body, bend the knees, uncurl into upright. Reaching all the way to the top. And bring those hands down to the heart. Notice your heart rate. Push those thumbs into your sternum. See if you can feel your heart rate and your breathing. Is anybody's heart rate up? Yeah? Okay. Take a breath in. Lift the arms. Palms face the floor. And you're going to exhale through your teeth. Lowering the palms. Do that again. Twice more. Bring those palms back in front of the heart. Press the thumbs into the sternum. And become aware of your heart rate now and your breathing. Has it changed? Nod your head. Is it better? Good. It's gone down. Excellent. So remember that breath. If you ever find yourself suddenly in that kind of state for whatever reason, just use that breathing and that movement. It works very quickly. And release those arms. So now we're going to the floor, or you're coming to sit on a chair. Okay? So coming to the, oh, do we need a drink of water before you go down? Have a drink. Yep, adjust your camera so I can see you are sitting on the floor. Or if you're on a chair, that's fine. Okay, so we're going down to the floor, or you're coming to sit on the chair. Either way, whichever suits you best, I don't mind. Okay, so if you're on the floor, you may want to have a towel or your blanket just to sit on in order to lift your bottom a little bit off the floor and rock the hips forwards. Bring those feet together. And you want to lean back a little bit. So if you're on a chair, you're just holding the back of your seat. Okay? But you're leaning back a little bit, just comfy like. Imagine you're on the beach. You're going to breathe in one knee to the chest, and then you're going to flick. Exhale and flick and lower down. So both legs are straight on the floor or straight on the chair. Breathing in the other knee. Exhale, flick. And then lower that leg down. And do that twice more on each side. Breathing in, knee lifts to chest. Exhale, stretch and lower. Take the time to lower using abdominals. Breathing in, stretch and lower. One more time to each side. And lower. Breathing in. And lower. Excellent. Okay, so coming into seated. So adjust yourself that you feel comfy on your chair or on your towel blanket. Your toes are flexed, your feet are flexed. So pull the toes, they push the heels away and flex the feet so they're pointing up. Toes are pointing upwards. Okay. Your hands are in your lap. You're breathing up, lifting hands to heart, turning the palms away from you. You keep the back straight as you lean, hinge from the hips forward, stretch the arms, and then fold towards the legs, forward bend. And then breathe in, bringing the hands back up to the heart, turning palms, relaxing the shoulders, hinging from those hips, stretching forwards, and then relaxing down to the legs, uncurling, breathing in, hands to heart. And just do this movement a few times, exhaling as you hinge and extend, releasing down, inhaling, coming back to the heart with the hands, turning palms, softening shoulders, exhaling, hinge and stretch, releasing down, breathing in as you come upright with the body, hands to heart, turning the palms, exhaling, hinge, stretch, release down, inhale, come back to center, to the heart, turning palms, breathing out as you stretch and lean, folding over those legs, relaxing and inhaling, hands to heart. Keep those toes pointing upwards, exhaling forwards and down. Inhaling back to the heart. Last time, we're going to stretch for that cream cake, chocolate, gin, whatever it is that grabs you. Stretch, reach, reach, reach. I don't know where your gin is. Is it down by your toes? That's for later. And then relax down. Just relax there. Relax the arms, relax the head, wherever there is. Just relax the body. Let it go. Do a few exhales here and just feel the stretch through the back of the legs. In breath, coming back into upright. Feel the length of your spine. Good. We're going down to the floor. Further down, sorry. So, people on the chairs, you're going to do... what are you going to do? You're going to do cat-cow, okay? So you can either do it seated or you do it standing, holding the back of your chair. So, everybody else, you come off your little perch, if you've got one. You're coming to the foot end of your mat so that you have plenty space behind you. So look behind you to see, right? And then you're taking hold of the back of the legs and you are rolling your spine down to the floor. So all the way down, coming to rest on your back, all right? So if you're on the floor, you have your feet close to your hips, hip width apart, hands on the floor, palms facing the floor. Lift your head, look at your knees, and then put a nice long neck back on the floor with your head. We're going to work with bridge pose, just sweeping upwards. So you exhale, pull in the belly, round and push through the legs, squeeze into the glutes and peel those vertebrae off the mat into bridge pose, and then roll back down, all the way down to the mat, trying to feel each vertebra come in contact with the floor. And we do that a few times, so you're exhaling as you pull the core in, squeeze into the glutes, and then you might have to inhale at the end to lift the chest. Use your gluteals to squeeze and hold, and then lower all the way back down again. Okay. If you're on the chair, you're doing cat and cow as we did before. Beautiful. Your back is going up into bridge pose if you're on the floor. And then when you reach your highest, wherever that is, in bridge pose, just pause. And I'd like you to pull in the perineum and the gluteal muscles and the abdominals. I want you to really squeeze hard so that you're holding this position and squeezing into the glutes, perineum, abdominals. Relax your head, relax your shoulders, and make sure your knees are tracking forwards, not falling in or out to the side. And then slowly lowering that back all the way down to the floor. Completing cat-cow, coming back into standing upright for those who are doing it on chairs. So you're just standing upright, releasing the chair. Okay. People lying on the floor, just draw your knees into your chest and just rock gently from side to side. Do the twist if you're standing, just that standing twist that we do at the beginning of the session, just to release any tension in the spine. Okay, feet back to the floor. We're now going to roll over onto our side and go into a lying position. Okay, let me just get this chair out the way so I can. Okay, so you are coming onto your tummies to lie on your tummies, right, with your arms extended forwards. If you're standing, you can stand up against a wall, facing the wall with the arms extended upwards along the wall. Yeah, so if you can't go to the floor, you can stand against a wall. Let me just demonstrate. You can stand up against a wall with your arms extended in that position and follow my instructions. So your forehead is on the floor, your arms are extended, hands are around shoulder width apart, feet are together. We're going into a gentle cobra. Exhale, draw in the core, and on the inhale, hollow your back, lift your chest, lift your head, and come to look forwards as best you can. So if you're on the wall, you're doing the same thing, just looking up towards the top edge of the wall. And then exhale, roll back down. Slide the hands, bend the elbows and slide the hands to either side of the head. Elbows are out to the side, feet are together. You're going to exhale, draw the belly in. Inhale, hollow the lower back, lift the chest and place your elbows on the floor underneath the shoulders or on the wall underneath the shoulders. So the core is engaged and there's a slight back bend if you're on the wall. Your hips are closer to the wall. You're going to breathe in, use your hands to pull the body forwards, and on the exhale, turn the head to look in one direction. Breathe in, come back to center with the head. Breathe out, look in the other direction. Breathe in, come back to center. Now just drop the head forwards, relaxing it down towards the floor. Feel the stretch through the back of the neck. On your next in-breath, push through the elbows, lift the chest, lift the head, look forwards and up. And now exhale, take the elbows out to the side. You're going to take the feet wider apart. If you're standing, you're coming to the chair to sit down and relax on. We're going into crocodile pose, so feet are wider apart, heels are rolled inwards, arms are folded, forehead is on the arms. In this position, if your neck is not comfortable, you can turn your head to the side. Thelma, you can rest over your legs if you need to. If you're seated, you can just fold forwards or have a cushion between the belly. Yep, that's good. Relax the head if you can. Chin to chest, chin to throat. If you're lying on the floor, you're focused on breathing into the belly. Feel the belly pressing into the mat. And as you exhale, soften the whole body. And just allow your breath to be a vehicle for relaxing the muscles in the body. Whether you're seated or lying down, focus on softening any areas of tension. Breathe into that area, imagine it's becoming spacious, and as you exhale, you consciously soften that place. Now drawing those feet together, lift the head, slide the hands to either side of the chest if you're on the floor, and go back into extended child if that suits your knees and hips. If you're on the chair, you can come into upright. Just take a few breaths here, breathing into your lower back area and softening on the exhale. Next, inhale, come onto your hands and knees. Step one foot forwards, not too far away from the knee. Back toes tuck under. You're lifting onto both feet, coming into standing and uncurling with bent knees. Reaching all the way up to the top, bringing those hands to the heart. Relaxing your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms. And release those hands. Focus on your feet, bring them back to hip width apart. Allow the belly and abdominals and the perineum to engage, the sternum to lift, the shoulders to go back. Find lots of space through the back of the neck. And again, either close your eyes or return your gaze to the floor. And just become aware of your whole body. From your head right the way down to your toes, and notice as you stand still, notice what you can feel. Maybe there's some tingling in the legs and the feet and the hands and the arms. Maybe there's a bit of warmth through the chest, a little space through the back. What does your neck feel like? What does your face feel like? What does your mind feel like? Scan your body and notice the changes in your body. Become aware of your emotions and whether they have changed and whether you have succeeded in your goal. And notice your mind, whether it's still so busy or has it quietened down. And then opening those eyes, stretching up, breathing in, sigh it out, and just let that go. If you need to do any twisting, feel free to do a little bit of twisting just to release any accumulated tensions in the body from the practice. And then come to a standstill and have a drink of water, please. Okay, so I'm going to take you through some mental Nadi Shodhanam, the alternate nostril breathing, right? You're familiar with that? You remember this one? Breathing in, breathing out. Yep. But without your hands. You're not going to be using your hands. It's in your head today. and it's going to be part of your relaxation. All right? Do you understand? No hands. Alternate nostril breathing. Okay, good. So I want you to gather your blankets and everything and come down to lie on your mat or sit, pardon me, on your chair or your sofa, whichever works best for you. So just make sure that you're comfortable and that you're sitting in a position that works. So you're lying down, I'm not, but you are. And as you come to lie down, you're coming to put your blankets over you. You're adjusting your body in a position that's comfy. I can see that sofa seat is very welcoming there. So just relaxing back now, whether you're in a chair or on the sofa or lying on the floor. And as you lie on the floor, make sure that you feel comfortable, because not every day is the same. Maybe you need a different position today. Maybe you need to be on your side or on your tummy in crocodile. Just listen to your body. Take note of what's going on for you. Or maybe you need to be in a chair if things are hurting too much. So give yourself permission to change things up a bit if you want to. Focusing on the lower back and just noticing how that feels wherever you are, and adjust the position if it's uncomfortable. Try and center yourself. Notice your shoulders, your neck, your head, and adjust that if you need to, so that you feel comfortable through the neck, through the head, through the shoulders, so the whole body can relax and become quiet and still. We're going to tense the entire body, so I'd like you to, wherever you are, push your feet into the floor. So whether you're seated, you're just pushing down into the floor. If your heels are touching the floor, just push down with those heels into the floor so that you bring tension into the legs. Yeah, so just push downwards. Wherever your hands are, just push downwards so that you bring tension into the arms. Draw in the abdominals, squeeze into the glutes. And then I'd like you to breathe in deeply and then scrunch your face into a sour lemony face and hold the tension, hold it. And then exhale, just let all that tension go. And we're going to do that once more. So again, push those feet and legs into the floor, push them downwards. Squeeze into the belly and the buttocks. Push down with those arms wherever they are. Push the shoulders back or into the floor. Breathe in deeply. Fill the chest. And scrunch the face into a sour lemony face. Hold the tension. Hold it. And then let it all go. Just sigh it all out. Let it all go. And adjust yourself into a position that's comfortable. Just make a few out breaths, sighing out breaths, and just really settle yourself on the mat or on your chair. And without changing anything, without doing anything, just let your awareness settle on your breathing, on the tip of your nose, and follow your breath up the nostrils to the brow center and then back out the nostrils. So you're breathing into the tip of the nose, up the nose to the brow center, and on the out breath from the brow center, you're following that breath down through the nose and out the end of the nose. So we're using our mental awareness to follow the breath. And we're going to just do that for a few more breaths, following the breath up the nose from the tip to the brow. Out breath, follow from the brow, out the tip of the nose. Settling into your breathing rhythm. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just whatever is super, super comfortable and easy. Now take your awareness to your left nostril, and as you breathe in, follow your breath up that left nostril, up to the brow center. Let the awareness cross over to the right side and the out breath flow out the right nostril. So you're following the out breath down the right nostril, out the end of the nose. When the next in-breath comes up that right nostril, you follow it all the way to the brow center. You cross the awareness over to the left and you exhale, following the breath with your awareness out the left nostril. And then back up the left nostril to the brow center, crossing over and letting that exhale flow out the right nostril. And breathing up that right nostril, let the awareness travel up the nostril to the brow center and out the left nostril. So continue the practice following the breathing rhythm. Nose, right side to brow center, crossing over to the other side and out that side, up the same side to the brow center, crossing over, going out the other side. And we're going to continue that breathing for 3 more minutes. And I'll be silent while you continue that practice. Now with each exhale, you want to soften that side of the body. So if you're breathing out the right side, as you exhale, let the whole of the right side of your body relax. And then when you're breathing out the left nostril, imagine, feel, sense the whole of the left side of your body relaxing with the out breath. So continue that for a few more breaths. On each exhale, feeling that the whole of that side of the body, from the top of the head, that side of the face, shoulders, chest, arm, waist, lower back, abdominals, hip, and that leg relaxes all the way down to the toes. So really get a sense of the whole of that side of the body, from the top of the head all the way down the arm, down the side, down that half of the body, front and back, and that leg relaxing completely on the out breath. top of the head to tips of fingers and tips of toes. Completing the breathing with an exhale out the left nostril, softening the whole of the body and coming to rest in the silence that you have created. The stillness, silence in the body and in the mind. Resting deeply, giving the body, the mind, the emotions an opportunity to really rest for a new alignment to take place. Spontaneous renewal of cells in the body. A harmonizing of the brain and all the senses and organs in the body. Experience yourself as though you were suspended in a beautiful silence, full of life. Vibrant, healing. Every part of you balancing. Now drawing your attention to the crown of your head, the top of your head, and imagining rays of sunlight shining down on the crown. These rays of light are warm, they're filled with vitality, they're filled with joy, they're filled with a lightness of being. And as you breathe in, I'd like you to invite that light to flow over the crown, down the back of the head, over your face. Allow it to fill your mind, fill your senses. Draw that light with each new exhale deeper into the body, filling the neck column, your shoulders, your arms, all the way down into the fingers. Filling the chest and the upper back, flowing from the top of the spine right the way down the spine to the base of the spine, filling your whole body, middle body, lower back, abdominals, pelvic floor, with this beautiful radiating golden light. Experiencing that light filling the hips and thighs, your lower legs, your ankles, your feet and toes, energizing the whole of your body from your head right the way down to your toes. Experience yourself filled with vitality, filled with a sense of joy and balance and aliveness, ready to come into wakefulness. And we begin that awakening by maybe wriggling fingers and toes, or shrugging the shoulders, or stretching and yawning, just doing whatever is best for you to bring yourself back into this room, into the space you're lying in. Just rolling Bringing knees to chest if you're lying on the floor, or folding forwards over the knees if you're seated. Rolling onto your right side if you're on the floor, and coming into seated when you're ready. Drawing those hands in front of the heart now. Let's give them a rub and a jiggle. Bring some movement into those hands. And lightly tap the top of the head, just bringing wakefulness through the body. Into the arms, sweep down the arms, down the front of the body, down the back of the body, down the legs all the way to the tips of your toes. Give them a squeeze. I bet you it's the only time you squeeze those toes. And bring those hands to the heart. And just think of all the lovely people you've practiced with today. And for the joy that brings you and the benefits of your yoga practice. Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much for coming.